Hi, Melissa Schultz here. I am the parenting coach who helps you yell less and smile more. And I wanted to talk today about yelling and why we yell and some of the problems with yelling and then how I help my clients stop the yelling. Okay. So first, I want to start this video by saying if you yell at your kids, if you have yelled at your kids, like the point of this video is not to make you feel any guilt or shame. Okay. So if any of that comes up for you when you're watching this movie, like let's just put it in the corner and try to still engage with this material. This is not meant to beat yourself up. We have all made mistakes. If you have recognized, though, that what you have done before isn't working or is not what you want to keep doing, then that's exactly why I made this video for you. And you can just decide that today is the day that you're going to make a change. So just wanted to preface with that. So when, of all the hundreds of parents I've talked to over the 20 years I've been doing this, there's really three main reasons why it seems like parents yell at their kids. So the first one is often as adults, we don't have a healthy way to process our own feelings when we're angry or overwhelmed. So if you don't know kind of what to do with all of those feelings of anger when this little person isn't listening to you or isn't eating dinner or whatever, and you feel angry and you don't know what to do with that anger, it might just burst out of you in a yell, right? Um, and so that's just a skill that you haven't learned yet is like how to manage your own emotions in a healthy way so that you're staying in control of yourself no matter what your little people that you made are doing. So that's kind of the first one is just not having the skills to know kind of what to do with all that anger in a healthy way. The second reason is just, often like yelling is modeled to us by our parents. So if your parents yelled at you when you were growing up, that's what you learned. Like that was kind of the only way you saw an adult cope with feelings. So you learned to cope with your feelings like that. And you really didn't have any other alternative modeled for you. Also, I'll hear some people say, well, my parents yelled at me and I turned out fine, right? So we almost like kind of like, well, since I'm alive today, I lived through it, like it's okay. I'm fine. And we'll talk a little bit about that in a second. About why I turned out okay might not be like the goal that we're actually shooting for and raising our own kids. But yeah, if that was modeled to you and you haven't taken intentional steps to like change it, then it makes sense that of course your default response would be to do exactly what your parents did, which is to yell. Um, the third reason I hear for parents yelling at their kids is like really just like not knowing what else to do. So I will hear like he only listens when I yell, right? I've tried everything, nothing works, and he only listens when I yell at him, and I just don't even know what else to do. And so if that's you also, we'll talk a little bit about what to do if that kind of describes your situation. But I've talked to so many parents that feel like this is just the only possible thing, right? Um, so the effects of yelling on kids, I just wanted to share a little bit about like why we even talk about yelling so much in the parenting world. So there are some short-term effects of yelling. And the first one is it does actually often result in kids listening to you immediately. So there is kind of this immediate submission for a lot of kids when a parent yells. And the trick with that is then the parent's brain says, oh, see, it works. Yelling is the answer. I'm going to keep yelling. This is the thing. It's the only thing that works. And so that's not true. Like we do know behaviorally that yelling at kids might produce an immediate result that you want, but you're not teaching your kids skills and you're actually kind of damaging your relationship with your child's brain and their development. And so it's not the best way. There are much better ways. I've worked with all the possible behaviors that you can possibly imagine. And never has it been like, yes, nothing worked but yelling. That was the thing, right? It's not that. Yelling is just usually kind of our default response, but it's not what works for kids. And I 100% guarantee you, if we talk, I will be able to tell you things that would work much better than yelling that would actually be much more helpful for your child's development and your relationship with your child. So they also notice that even short term, when kids are yelled at a lot, it increases their aggression, anxiety, and withdrawal behaviors. And it also teaches that your child to yell. You're modeling yelling to them, so they're going to yell when they feel mad or overwhelmed. And so then that aggression or anxiety or withdrawal behaviors can seem like more behavior problems, right? Which might make you yell more, which might make them be more aggressive and yelling or anxious or withdrawing, which might make you yell more. And you can see how it becomes this like vicious cycle. And then if your brain is telling you yelling is the only thing that works, like you can feel stuck in that cycle, but you don't have to. Long-term effects are research, lots of research has shown that kids that are yelled at when they're growing up are much more likely to develop anxiety, low self-esteem, depression, a negative view of themselves, social problems, behavioral and psychological problems, aggression, self-destruction or self-destructive actions, risky sexual activity, bullying behavior, and are more likely to have chronic pain as an adult. So the people that are telling you that their parents yelled at them and they're fine, they're okay, might also have, chronic pain issues, might still have aggressive or self-destructive tendencies. Like we don't really know what that fine means. And what I really do is help parents, like we don't want to have to, if we can help it, right? We want to do everything we can as parents to not have to have our kids experience that or have to overcome low self-esteem or anxiety or depression or any of that as an adult, if we can give them the gift as a child of not yelling and not causing some of those negative problems later in life. There's also some research that even equates the effect of yelling on your child's physiology and nervous system. Yelling, it can be as harmful or similar to physical abuse. So their body might be even processing it similar to if you actually put your hands on them. And so it's more harmful than we think. And so I want to share a little bit about what I do as a parenting coach, because I am the parenting coach that helps people yell less and smile more, right? So my process is 2 steps. We just do 2 things, right? The first thing we do is we create a custom plan. So no matter what you've tried, and no matter even if you think nothing works, I guarantee you that I can come up with a custom plan that will work for your child and your family to manage any behavior challenge that you're having. Okay. This is what I do all day. This is what I've done my whole career. We create that plan based on your child's personality, and your family's values and preferences. We figure out what need your child is meeting through engaging in that behavior and how we can teach them a better way to meet that need. We figure out what skills your child's missing and how we can motivate them to use more positive behaviors. And we break all of this down into simple and doable baby steps that work, okay? So if your child's behavior is here and we want to get it all the way over here, we just start by making tiny little steps in that direction, okay? We just change like 1% of things at a time and we make it work. And then when you turn around, if you keep making 1% changes every day or every week, you're going to have a totally different parenting style and relationship with your kids, the one that you want if you are doing this intentionally, okay? So first step, we make that custom plan that works. The second step is we do the plan. We put the plan into action. We implement it, okay? And that step can be a trickier step for most parents because this is when you find all the different things that come up that make it hard for you to stay consistent with that plan. Or, something changes, or you go on vacation, or you get sick, or, your child responds differently than you thought. So this is where we work all those things out, okay? I teach my clients how to stay calm and in control no matter what their kid is doing. So even when new behavior challenges come up, which they often do, you know how to stay calm and in control. You learn to watch your thoughts so you can respond instead of react. We work on processing emotions in a healthy way. So you are processing that anger or anxiety or guilt or shame or overwhelm, whatever it is. We work on processing those emotions in a healthy way and teaching your child to do the same. And then doing that actually gives you more time, more energy. So you do have the time and energy to do the things that matter to you, to take better care of yourself. So you have more energy to spend more quality time with your kids. That is my process on how I help moms yell less and smile more. And I would love to talk to you more about this if you are interested. Just click the link below and let's talk. Thanks.